Hey everyone! We are in our second week of our chakra series. This week we're exploring our Sacral Chakra or our Svadhisthana chakra. This is located kind of in our lower abdomen, and it starts to develop when we're about 6 months old until about 2 years. This energy center has a lot to do with our experience of pleasure and sensuality and creativity and fluidity, kind of movement. The element of this chakra is water, so it's being able to kind of go with the flow, to be able to adapt and to move. And sometimes when we are imbalanced in this chakra, we are very rigid, we're very tight and set in our ways. And so today, as we hold some very restorative, slow, very sweet asanas, very much like a yin-styled class, we're going to aim to find a sense of softness, find a sense of letting go, especially around the hips. And hopefully we can find some pleasure in slowing down and softening. And fun fact, Svadhisthana actually translates to sweetness, so I think that's pretty perfect for today's class. For this one, you definitely want a bolster or 2 blocks nearby. If you didn't have those, then see if you can makeshift something, maybe a pillow, maybe a book. If you don't have them, that is no worries at all, but they will definitely make this experience better, in my opinion. Let's get started in a child's pose. We're going to do a couple of warm-up asanas before we hold the positions for a little bit longer. So in your balasana, in your child's pose, take your knees out a little wider, so we start to open through our adductors, our inner legs, through the glutes, through the hamstrings. Feel the ground underneath your forehead. Can you feel your hands root down into the earth? Feeling into that sense of stability and foundation that we cultivated in the previous classes on our root chakra. And find the flow of the breath. Finding the flow of the inhale, which connects into our exhale. Take 2 more breaths here. How heavy can you get in your body? Let's come up into a tabletop position. A couple rounds of cat and cow. Breathing in, opening up, extending the spine. Exhaling to round the back, tuck your chin in. Couple more. Can you flow like water here? Take 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, step your hands forward, come down onto your belly. Either holding Sphinx pose or Cobra pose. Sphinx pose is with the elbows down on the ground. If you felt like a little bit more extension through the spine, you can press into your hands, lift the elbows off a little or a lot. Engage the glutes. And then lower yourself down onto the ground. You can stack your hands underneath your forehead here. Tuck your tailbone. Tuck your ribs towards your hips. Lengthen your legs. And then try lift the right foot off the ground. Half locust. Ardha Shalabhasana. Lower the right leg down, other side, breathing in, left leg lifts. And coming down, slide both hands by your ribs, push yourself up. Shuffle your knees in, and we're gonna grab our blocks and our bolster if we had one. With the blocks, you're gonna shuffle down, you're gonna bring one block to the mid setting or the lower setting, other block onto its higher setting. Now, ideally for your bolster, you didn't have one that was, mine's buckwheat filled, so it's a little bit more flexible. Ideally, you would like something a little more firm so that when you do lie it down, it doesn't just kind of collapse and fill up just at the bottom, if you know what I mean. Anyway, eventually once you've, I knew this was going to be awkward showing you guys this. Once you've kind of got something going on here, we're going to find reclined bound angle pose. So soles of the feet together, hips sitting on the ground, and then you're going to lower your back down and then lower your head down. Now, if you didn't have a bolster, that's totally fine. You could do this on the ground. Adjust the blocks as you need to, your bolster as you need to, so you can feel comfortable. You could always roll up an extra blanket and tuck it underneath your head. You could also have a blanket or a pillow underneath each knee for a little bit more support. Let's get really heavy into our hips. Any tension, any rigidity, any clenching, can we soften that? If you're noticing that feeling hard to soften, then grabbing something for support underneath your knees will help with this. Slowing the breath down. Softening the arms, softening the shoulders. Relaxing the eyelids, the eyebrows. Relaxing the jaw. Softening the tongue, letting it lightly rest at the roof of the mouth. Be here for another minute or two. 2 more slow breaths. And then just very gently start by tucking the chin in, lifting yourself up. From here, keep the bolster kind of where it is. I might just shuffle it down a little bit more. We need a bit of space at the front of our mat for our next position. And we're going to lie down onto our belly. Setting up for a half locust pose, but with a leg up the bolster. You can stack your hands together, bring your forehead down, and then just bring one leg up. Let it lie on top of the blocks, the bolster, whatever you have. Other leg is just lying on the ground. Hands on the head. Your forehead could be down, your side of the temple could be down. Just noticing the subtle extension of your lifted leg. And we're really trying to bring no effort into this asana. Take one more slow breath. The foot that's on the bolster, just take it off to the side. Find yourself kind of in a more neutral position if that feels comfortable for a moment, just laying both legs on the ground. And we'll swap to the other side, lifting the other leg up. It does take a little bit of effort to get up initially, but once you're there, just let go. Take any wriggles that you need to so that you feel comfortable. one more slow breath. And take that top leg off. You might slide your hands by your ribs to push yourself up. Shuffle your knees forward. Sit down on your hips. And then turn so you're facing your bolster. Shuffle yourself down, bring your hips behind it. And then lie yourself back down onto your back. Left foot, left leg long on the bolster. Right leg can come up over on top, so you're kind of crossing your legs over. Hands could be on your body or by your side. Feeling into this very slight inversion where the heart is, well, your feet are slightly above your heart and your head. And this posterior tilt of the pelvis can feel quite nice for the lower back. Feel free to stay here for the next minute or two if you felt like something different, potentially a little more. We can find a modified cowface pose. And what that will look like is your left foot stepping to the outside of the bolster and your right foot kind of stepping to the outside of the left side of the bolster. So it's kind of like you're crossing your thighs over rather than your feet. Your right foot will be dangling off the ground here. Soften around the hips. Really let the pelvis get heavy on the floor. Two more breaths. We'll just swap the legs over. So just let your right leg extend out long first, and then the left foot crosses over. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. You wanted to turn this into cowface pose, just slide the right foot to the outside of the left bolster and then kind of the left foot towards the right, crossing the thighs. There'll be a ever so subtle lift of the left hip. Very small rotation through the lumbar spine. Notice where you can soften. One more breath. Uncross the legs. Find your way into Shavasana. Just for a moment. If you need to move any blocks or bolsters out of the way, you can. I'm going to offer to bring the bolster or something heavy, your pillow or your hands or a jumper or a blanket, just on top of kind of your lower abdomen. Letting the weight of whatever is on top of you encourage a sense of heaviness. Extend the arms above the head. Breathe in. Fill up the belly. Breathe out. Sigh it out. Just very gently you can roll yourself up. Come into a seat. Let's close out our practice together. Bring your hands to heart, thanking yourself for turning up, for slowing down, for finding sweetness in the slowness. Thank you so much, my friends. I really hope that you enjoyed this practice, and I will see you next week for our third chakra, which is our Solar Plexus Chakra or our Manipura Chakra. Take care. Thank you so much.